Last week, we received Saudi Arabia's approval to issue visas for 3 of our diplomats to be based at the Islamic Conference Organization in Jeddah. With efforts of Mr. Fuad Hussein and Mr. Mustafa Al-Kadhimi in Iraq, we will attend the upcoming round of talks in Baghdad.
Mohammad Marandi is a professor and political analyst at Tehran University, and he joins us now live from Tehran for more on this story. Thank you so much, Professor, for joining us here on the program. Now, relations haven't been great, but we are seeing talks being held in an effort to repair ties here. And this is the latest development. It looks like it's bringing them a step closer to normalizing ties.
Yes, these are small steps towards normalization. I think the most important issue is the war in Yemen. The Saudis are increasingly coming to the recognition that this horrific war is achieving no results. We have the Saudis bombing the capital Sana'a day and night, especially at night when people are sleeping. And despite all this, the Saudis are losing across the board. The Emirates have already recognized that this war is of no use to them. And despite the genocide that we've seen over the past few years, the government in Sana'a is growing more powerful, and it is gaining more territory. And Saudi Arabia is actually on the verge of losing territory to the south of the country if things continue the way they are.
Right. What role is Iraq playing in all of this?
Well, you'll recall that the previous Iraqi prime minister was about to meet General Soleimani when he was murdered in the at the Iraqi International Airport. When he arrived in Iraq early in the morning, the Americans and with Israeli support murdered the general along with his Iraqi counterpart, Abu Mahdi al-Muhandis. The Iranian general, according to what the previous Iraqi prime minister said, was about to meet the previous Iraqi prime minister to discuss a reply from Saudi Arabia to an Iranian letter. So Iraq has played a role before the current prime minister, but the Americans tried to not only harm the fight against ISIS by murdering the Iranian general, but also prevent rapprochement between Iran and Saudi Arabia. So after the murder of the Iraqi prime minister, this mediation between Iran and Saudi Arabia continued. Of course, I think the most important thing was the bilateral relationship. The Iraqi role is not all that key and important, but it did play a role in bringing the two sides together. What is important, though, is that the Saudis, for a very long period of time, wanted Iran to give them concessions on behalf of Yemen. And the Iranians were very firm, and they continue to be very firm. And they've told the Saudis repeatedly that we cannot negotiate on behalf of the people of Yemen.
So what's the way forward here, Professor?
I think we're going to see small steps in the relationship, steps moving forward. I don't expect to see any great breakthrough. The breakthrough can only really take place after the Saudis make the decision to end the war in Yemen and to accept defeat in that country. And that's something that is very difficult for someone like Mohammed bin Salman to do, with his track record in Qatar, with regards to Jamal Khashoggi, with regards to the kidnapping of the Lebanese prime minister. It's very hard to see him change radically, but ultimately, if Saudi Arabia does not change course, this war is going to become increasingly problematic for Saudi stability.
All right, Professor Mohammad Marandi, it's always a pleasure having you here on TRT World. Thank you for that.